for confirmation from Periscope. And all right, there we go. We are live. How's it going, everybody? It looks like a bunch of you here early for the 3 game, or maybe had some good luck on last night's slate. Was an interesting one. I think stacks paid off. The 295 winner, and a lot of lineups in the 295 were stacked up pretty good. Less amount of entries in that tournament, but I think it'll happen. Man, James Neal, 4 goals last night. I did not see that one coming. So if you did, probably profited in a pretty big way. By the way, speaking of James Neal, I saw some stupid video that what's up, Boom? I saw some crazy video where there was someone, I don't know, must have been a James Neal hater or Flames fan or someone. He said that he loved what Milan Lucic had been doing in his first few games because he had a couple fights and he leads the league in penalties. Compared to James Neal, he was trashing James Neal. So I thought that video was funny. I think Cliffy, Slim Cliffy, retweeted it. So if you want to go check that out, I think it was Cliffy. If you want to go check that out, just an absurd take by this guy. Neal already, I think, coming close to matching his goal total last night for the entire season. So looking like things are working out better in Edmonton for James Neal. Maybe he's not done yet, like we might have thought late last year. All right, so we're going to look at lineup study. Probably take an extended look. Lucic is a duster. I definitely agree with you. Boom. Faded Neal entirely. I don't feel too bad about fading Neal. If he was with McDavid, I think I probably would have been on him more. I had some Neal stacks, but they were, or I should say I had some Edmonton 2 stacks, but I kind of limited my exposure to them. I hate playing Edmonton without playing McDavid. Feels like a bit foolish to me, but maybe now that they have at least 2 guys on each of the top 2 lines that are decent, maybe I should start to rethink that. People giving their Lucic takes. Yeah, man, that guy, what's up, Llama? That guy, he is no longer good at hockey, at least for an NHL player. But he gets in fights, so whatever. I guess people like that. He was 3% on Fanduel. I believe it, man. I believe it. If you were on that, I mean, very sharp, worked out. I saw one of the goals that he had. Shout out to Vots. I don't know. Vots is always in here. He never asked for the shout out, but someone on the Osmo handle here hit that thumbs up. Yeah, feel free if you want to hit the thumbs up. It does help us out here for a number of different reasons, so that'd be great. Nice call on Dallas 1 yesterday. Yeah, they ended up getting there a little bit late. I was being a little greedy. I'll show you guys my lineup. The one that I thought had a little bit of a chance last night in the $10. That was a full stack. But needed a little bit more Boston 1. Needed some from Dallas 1 earlier in the slate. They didn't quite go crazy. But felt like stacks did okay last night. Let's talk about Yahoo for a quick second. If you guys want to get $30, up to $30 of Yahoo Sports rewards points, you're going to want to go check out Emacs Primetime NFL article from a couple days ago. He will also have one out for the Thursday night game. I think the Thursday game kind of sucks, but Emac will be grinding out an article for that because he always does. So go support Emac. Go figure out how to get the up to $30 of Yahoo Sports rewards points. Yahoo is a great place to play if you're looking to dabble in some NHL. If you're maybe just discovered this stream randomly, go play over on Yahoo. Get some weaker competition. Use the promo code AWESEMO when you sign up because you're going to want to take advantage of getting essentially free money over there. NFL contests, they also they bring the heat on those. $10 300K baller 150 max tournament is, of course, live for Sunday. Look at this payout structure. Much, much better than what you're going to see elsewhere. So you like that. You don't have to, it's not first or last, the old Ricky Bobby mindset that some of these other DFS sites have. So go check out Yahoo. If MME is not your game, then they got the single entry. No management fee either. So hard to top that. These are tournaments you should be getting in. Just wanted to mention Yahoo. Love Yahoo. They proudly sponsor us. All right, Lara. Yeah, I'll DM you the shipping address. All right, bunch of people in here now. I think full stacks are viable for fields of less than 1K, but I'm still wondering if the larger fields can win with them. With enough consistency. That's interesting. I still think you can. It's, maybe there's more sharper people this year, or people at least not necessarily sharper, but are looking to full line stack where you might be more likely to get duped in a large field tournament. But the tournaments aren't big enough in NFL or NHL where I think that's an issue. Like it's not like you have 100K entry tournaments. Like it's not, it's not like an NFL Sunday. So I still think you shouldn't be all of a sudden throwing stacking out the window. I'm probably going to say that for the next however many months. We'll see. I think some of the slates have been fluky. Like last night, I don't think it was super fluky outside of Neil's 4 goals, but it wasn't like he was a third line grinder that was 0.1% owned. He had a little bit of ownership. It's not like he was a bad play by any means. I just don't think a lot of people were on that. But if you were, you probably did pretty well. Yeah, boom. We'll go over that. Let's go over lineup study. This is Fantasy Cruncher Pro's lineup study. If you guys want to get in on this, they have it for a ton of different sports. Really cool tool to study pros, study yourself, do whatever you want. If you want to get FC Pro through Osmo, you can with promo code, let's see. If you're getting the all access monthly plus FC Pro, you can use the promo code Hit the Ice. That'll get you 50% off your first month of the all access monthly package. And then if you want to just sign up for NHL alone, I know some of you guys don't play a lot of other sports. Maybe you just want to use NHL for the yearly pass. Promo code NHL Early Bird, that's coming across in the ticker below me. That expires tomorrow, so that's this is kind of your last chance. $40 off the yearly price. I think it's a pretty good deal. Alex is working hard on ownership projections. He was just DMing me today, trying to get my thoughts on a few things. So some smart people behind the scenes are working on providing ownership projections. So hopefully those are coming very soon. We have regular projections. You can get the FC add-on if you would like. I like using FC. We've got the NHL cheat sheets. Those are free. Power play articles are free for the time being. Those are written by Cliffy, who crushed his article yesterday. I think all the plays in there did pretty well. And then Chris Wassel and Fox, of course, who you guys all know and love. All right. Yeah, Steven, that's very true. $610 hit. I mean, that's kind of what you should expect most nights, I think, when you won 50. That's actually not even that bad. It's like getting back almost 2/3, to be honest. But, maybe you disagree. All right, so here's actually, let's go over the icebreaker quick. This was the $295. So this guy, Moods, he crushed last night. I mean, there's no other way around it. 10 entries, he cashed 7 of them. I think he had a bunch of James Neal one-offs. Yeah, Neal there, Neal. I guess this wasn't a one-off. This was more of a PP stack with just McDavid and Neal. That's interesting. But anyways, I mean, Neal, didn't necessarily have the nut stacks, but he got a little bit out of Vegas 2 here. Yandel. That play ended up working out, even though I wasn't a big fan of it. Yeah. I ended up having like 17% Yandel, so I shouldn't say it was a bad play. I thought he'd be a little bit higher owned. I think he was about 15, 17%. So, congrats. I mean, huge night here. Anytime you got James Neal on 7 out of 10, or not James Neal, but anytime a guy kind of goes nuts by himself and you have him one-offed all over the place, you're going to do really well. So, pretty cool to see. Did not max enter it. 22 was the max. You only had 10 in there. $58,000 in profit. That will do. No, you could shout out whoever you want. I don't care, Boom. Anyone else in here? Let's see. What did Drury run? Boston 1, Dallas 2, it looks like. No. Dallas, Seguin, Ben, Radulov. So I guess, yeah, Dallas PP stack. Fabro had the empty netter. Sami Niku, I think, got an assist. Bishop got the win. Just kind of didn't get enough out of the stacks. Recommends you faded Yandel. I didn't recommend you fade Yandel. I even said I was at like 25% Yandel. I said I was going to get less, but I don't really recommend fading anyone because I play so many lineups. All right, let's go to the $10 real quick. Is 5-3-1 a viable stack type? Yeah, for sure. If you're talking about 5-3-1, like your goalie as part of that 5 goalie plus a 4-man stack, I think that's definitely viable. I don't know if I would be looking to do that on this size slate, but I think on larger slates like last night, or I think we get a pretty big one tomorrow, I think that's a pretty good idea. 5-3-1. Detroit offside flip was crazy. Yeah, I don't know what that did for me. I don't think Detroit 1 was going to be the nut stack anyways. But yeah, that was a full line goal. So I don't know. That's definitely gonna swing some things. All right, my friend Jimmy in chat trying to stir it up, doing a pretty poor job, to be honest. Yeah, if I had one lineup, no way I would have ended up on Yandel. Told you I was gonna play some Yandel, but yeah, that's a good question, Brian. Jimmy's just waiting for NBA to start, I think. So he's just looking to kill some time here. That's all good. Not a lot of super familiar names up at the top. A couple 150ers did pretty well. A lot of one-off, a lot of single lineup guys actually performed incredibly well. So let's look at the winning lineup here. James Neal was not even in this lineup. So there you go. You didn't even need James Neal to bink in the largest field tournament. One entry, almost 20K profit. Let's see. Kuznetsov, Ovi, wow, Kovalchuk. This looks like a cash build. I mean, it is a cashy build. Interesting. Ovi, Kuznetsov, Carlson, so no guys on the same line together. Yeah. It was man, I mean, when you hit all your one-offs and 2-man stacks like that, that's interesting. I don't know that we can learn a lot from that one. I was down here, had one lineup that was doing decently. Let's see. I think it was Boston 1 Vegas. Yeah, Boston 1 Vegas. Right here. No. Was this the lineup that ended up? Where was the oh, okay. Boston 1 Edmonton 2. Jerko got an assist. Nugent Hopkins didn't really do anything. Yeah. Rask ended up getting the win, but didn't really do anything too wild. Pionk was whatever. Carlson was whatever. But Boston 1 ended up kind of being the nut stack, even though Bergeron didn't really contribute. I saw someone came up, there's someone in some chat said that Bergeron missed an empty netter, so that's not great. Yeah, to me, it seems like a theme with these larger fields. Anything over 3-4K seems like it's been uncorrelated lineups taking them down. I mean, that's going to happen a lot, like where uncorrelated stacks are going to, or uncorrelated lineups are going to win. But yeah, I mean, it's large field tournaments. People are going to hit the complete nuts, like right here. He hit the complete nuts without the guy who scored 4 goals. That's nuts. So that's going to happen. I think that Sabres versus Canadiens game goes over. Rat Boy also missed the hat trick. Yeah, that would have swung some things too if Marchand ended up burying that empty netter. Because would that have given him the shot bonus too? I don't know. All these bonuses, man. You can't really tell where you're at until way, way late in the slate. Bobrovsky ruined me. That will happen. Yeah, Jimmy, all right. This is the last I'll say on Yandel. I was getting a lot more of Yandel. I said I was going to end up in the 15% range or whatever. If I said fade him, you guys know my style of play. I'm not looking to X out anyone out of my pool, so I definitely know I was trying to get less of him. So, and I did get way less of him because he was my highest owned defenseman before the show, and then I got to like 15% of him or whatever. So, what else do we got here? Anything else cool happened last night? What did Alex take down? 691. Is this a single entry? Who says he can't just? Who says he needs the 150? What's up, Trav? Travis Petty. Oh, okay. Petty theft. What's up, man? How you doing? Yeah, man. So this guy surprisingly does not need the 150 to bink in NHL. Whoa. I didn't even notice this. Derek Grant. Alex has been running a lot of 3-2-1s. So, for what it's worth, I think 3-2-1 is a pretty good strategy tonight. My Hattie pick at the end. Yeah, yeah. If I could predict hat tricks, I would just I wouldn't stream. I would just pick hat tricks every night and just sit on top of a pile of money. It'd be pretty cool. But I suppose we could pick a hat trick. Yeah, pet goat indeed. Yeah, we're getting Petty into hockey. That's gonna be probably bad for all of our ROIs once he figures this out. Yeah, Petty had a good week in NFL. Congrats, man. Petty always does, man. Guy's just a stud. Hat trick pick. Yeah. We'll go through it, and you guys can give me your hat trick picks. I'll come up with. Actually, I'll take mine right now. I'll take Brock Besser. It's my hat trick pick. Better one-offs than him to build around. Yeah. He did say something to me about one-offs being more viable because of is that when NFL season or NHL? Getting my sports all mixed up. October 22nd, is that when NBA starts? Is it really that far away? I thought it was like next week. Did NHL start really early this year or something? Man, how long is the NBA preseason? Jeez. Oh, okay. I thought we only had one more week of big contests, but there you go. I love the amount of puck gods in here. Yeah, as long as you don't become one, I think we're safe. You can keep binking NBA and NFL every week. I'll donate to you and those other sports. Well, I rarely play NBA, but I'll play some NFL. All right. Anything else you guys want to see on lineup study, or should we move it on? I don't know that it was a great day for the pros. It certainly wasn't in the $10 because you saw all the single entry guys taking it down and getting the top few spots. Do you think 3 games is enough for a good NHL slate? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I play basically every NHL slate because it's my favorite sport. I think there's probably an edge in lineup construction, and the contests right now they look pretty good. Like 20K to first on a 3-game slate in a $10. I think that's pretty tough to beat. We're gonna be loving if we could get that in like February when NBA is in full swing, and NFL's done and all that. Raj said Sharks were crying by the end. I mean, yeah, I think they were. I think they were crying by the end. Like, these aren't a lot of Sharky. I mean, a lot of the Sharky names, Sissima, like I shouldn't say Shark, but like a lot of the guys at 150 and play a lot of volume, and guys we know make money at this. Testosterone was down here. I mean, his top lineup was in 67th. Brick, incredible player. Top lineup was 76th. Who else we got? Lou Mister. Is it Lou Mister? Yeah. Took a pretty big hit, lost over half, 85th. So it was tough. Tom, Alex, they weren't up here. It was tough. It was tough if you multi-entered. So it was tough for me too. I lost over 2/3 of my entries. 610. Raj Ham. Yeah, of course, Raj Ham. Thoughts on what? I don't know what that means, Clayton. Maybe reword that and send that back in. Should we do these games? I've rambled for 25 minutes. Let's go through them really quick. Montreal, Buffalo, 2.9 implied total for the Canadiens, 3.2 for the Sabres. Keith Kincaid in net against Carter Hutton. As far as matching goes here, I don't think we're going to see anything wild, but probably Eichel. I shouldn't say we're not going to see anything wild. I think this is going to be a decently hard match. Eichel against Dano, Tatar, Gallagher. I'm not sure it's bad for either side. If you look at the Eichel line numbers for the season, not that impressive. Olofsson, they had the one big game against the Rangers, but at 5-on-5, they haven't been that great. So very small sample. We're still working with very small samples, so hard to take anything too much from it. They're all on PP1. They're one of the only lines tonight that has that luxury, and so they're going to be popular. It is what it is. 3.2 implied total. I wish there was a way you could get away from it, but like on these 3-game slates, you kind of just if you have to, like if you're multi-entering, you just have to play. Not everyone, but essentially you're playing a lot of different lines with a lot of different combos. Whether you're doing 3-3 or 3-2-1 or 2-2-2 or whatever kind of stacks you're running, there's almost no way to avoid Eichel, Olofsson, and Reinhart. Like I will try to lower exposure sometimes, not necessarily tonight, but like sometimes if I think a line's gonna be popular, but they have kind of a tough matchup, or they're on the road and I know they're gonna get hard matched against so-and-so line, maybe that's a chance you take on a smaller slate that they get limited and don't go off on the power play. But I don't think that's the case with Buffalo here. I think just for correlation alone, it's going to be tough to avoid them, even though the full stack is very, very expensive. That's the only issue. Are these prices correct? Let me see here. Yeah, these prices are correct. Buffalo 1 super priced up. I'm still getting a bunch of Eichel. Hard to fit them in as a full stack, but as 2-mans, they're gonna be very popular. So, Jeez, I'm getting season-long trades. I wonder if you guys could hear that coming through. I should turn my monitor on sleep mode. I'm rusty running the show alone, so my bad if you ever hear noises coming from my computer. Canucks versus Kings. Yeah, we'll get to that game later. If I set lineups in about an hour, how often will I be screwed by a difference in line changes or scratch? I would say on a 3-game slate, without putting the research behind it, I'd say like 80% of the time you're going to be good. The only issue here, let's see. If you check back before the Kings game, no, they're going to start quick. Never mind. Yeah, I think you're going to be good. All the goalies are either confirmed or very likely. Schneider is very likely to go for the Devils. So yeah, you're probably good. Maybe a line change happens, but boom, I don't think that's going to happen. I hate to break your heart, but I don't know. I don't think the bosses would like that one too much, or myself for that matter. When does MLB start again? Man, we're already on MLB, Raj. One bink and you'll be ready to play NHL for the next 8 months. I do like the second line for Buffalo. I think they get a little bit better of a matchup here. Going up against Domi and Lehkonen and Suzuki. I think I like Buffalo too a little bit better than Montreal too, for what it's worth. It's not by much, but I did notice the other night it was a 2-game slate, and granted the pricing was a little bit softer because I think it should be on 2 gamers because I like that it kind of concentrates ownership a little bit more, and you just need to get different with 1 or 2 skaters. Bjorkstrand was a key that night at low ownership. Not saying Sabatka is going to be that, but I did notice that Sabatka was like 3% compared to Skinner being 25%. And what I was talking about with, I think Coolers in Premium Slack earlier was just that, even if Sabatka is bad for DFS, and he's still going to be way lower owned than Skinner. So he made an interesting case to talk about full line stacking on 3 gamers and shorter slates because, as I've showed you guys, I think maybe a couple times, people might start their hand builds like this, where they go like this. Okay. But now, look, you got $7,600, almost $7,700 per player for 2 defensemen. Even if you had Burns and Carlson on the slate, or Burns and Yossi, you still would be leaving a ton of salary on the table. So, okay, who's the guy who comes off? Probably the guy that's not playing on the power play. Lehkonen's not playing on the power play either. But, you could just see so easily him getting left off almost all of the Skinner, Johansson stacks. So that's why I kind of like... I'm going to run both kind of stacks. I'm going to run 3-3. I'm going to do 3-2-1. But I think, you shouldn't just discard full stacking because you're going to see maybe Sabatka again at 3%, where Skinner, who's a popular play, he does correlate to him still. They're still going to be on the ice together. If Skinner does score, Sabatka has a better chance of landing an assist. And if Sabatka scores, now you're talking about possibly being a difference maker in the slate. So I wouldn't just blanketly leave off even a bad player if he's in a decent situation. Whereas on a bigger slate, I think you probably should, because a Sabatka goal on an 8-game slate at 0.5% ownership, great, but unless he gets a hattie and you still have the nuts, it's not going to matter. I do like the third line for Montreal as well. This is, I think it's my favorite third line of the night. If I had to choose just one third line to play, it would be Montreal 3. They do have a little bit of a history playing together. The numbers aren't spectacular, but no Connor Sheary for Buffalo. That's just me making a mental note of no Connor Sheary. I don't think it actually changes anything. It's not like you can't go up against Middlestat and VC and Evan Rodriguez. But I think that's who they're going to see for the majority of their time, probably some of the fourth line as well. And I think that's a really favorable spot. I usually only like targeting third lines when they're at home. But with the nature of the slate being 3 games, I do like being over the field on a Montreal 3. Yeah, sorry. God, I keep doing this. If you're new, 3-3 stack just means this would be a 3-3. Let's say I liked Montreal 3. That would be a 3-3. 3 forwards plus 3 forwards. So that'd be your 3-3 stack. If you liked a defenseman, let's say you liked Rasmus Dahlin, now that's a 4-3 or 4-3-1, whatever you want to call it. If you add in a goalie, now that's a 5-3. So that's what I mean. 3-3, 3-2-1. 3-2-1 would be the same thing, except you just, instead of having 2 3-man stacks, you take out one of the skaters on one of your 3-mans for a one-off skater. That's, I think, a really viable strategy tonight. Defenseman, Ristolainen is my preferred guy in Buffalo. While he is on the power play too, I think there's a really good chance he skates a ton with Eichel, Olofsson, and Reinhart. So not the power play correlation that you wanted. Here with Rasmus Dahlin. Dahlin is really priced up, $6K. I wasn't getting much of any of him before. Like, he's priced up. He's not a high upside player, but I still think I want to get at least a little bit of exposure to him because it still is a good spot from a raw points perspective. Someone fill me in on the good players pick tonight. We've only gone through almost one game. So I'm going to have more Ristolainen, I think, than Rasmus Dahlin. Colin Miller is another guy I think is a decent value. Weber on the other side is, I think Alex has him projected really high. Let's see. Yeah, he does. He's a good play. He's got him projected as the second highest ranked defenseman tonight. There's one guy that's a little bit cheaper than him that I think is kind of the clear best play, but Weber is certainly up there for 6,200. Yeah, exactly. Army forever. There you go. There's all the good plays right there. Now that guy can stop watching the stream. If you just came here for good players, there you go. Fit all those guys in your lineup. No, I know. I'm just joking with you. All right, Petrie on the other side. He goes through these stretches where he attempts a ton of shots, but he's 5,700, not playing the top power play. So, if you're going to like the second line for Montreal, then he does correlate to Domi and Suzuki on the PP, but he would be more of a one-off play that I would be trying to get to. All right, let's go to the next game. Goalies, actually. Let's see. I could just talk generally about goalie exposure because goalie is very uninteresting to talk about for most slates, especially a 3-gamer. Hutton is right now my second highest owned goalie for what it's worth. That's really about it. Kincaid is my second lowest owned goalie. There you go. Devils and Flyers. We've got a 2.9 implied total for the Devils, 3.2 for the Flyers. Corey Schneider going up against Carter Hart. So we haven't had the Flyers yet on a slate. They've only played one game. They played it, I can't even remember where it was, but it was against the Blackhawks somewhere across the pond. I can't even remember where it was. It was at like noon on last Thursday or something. Anyway, hanging out with Chipotle, nice. Chipotle and Nhl Dfs. That's the recipe right there. So Philadelphia was technically the home team in that game, so we kind of did get to see what they would do with hard matching, if they were going to do it at all. And by no one's surprise, they went Couturier, Lindblom, and Konechny. Actually, I don't even know if those two guys were with Couturier. But anyways, Couturier was the guy who they hard matched with, which is pretty par for the course with Philadelphia. Prague, nice. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I didn't want to guess because I was for sure not going to guess Prague. But I put like one showdown lineup in, and that was it for that slate. And predictably got destroyed. Um, so there, you would expect Couturier to go up against Taylor Hall and the top line for the Devils. It's not a spot where I would be looking to get away from Taylor Hall at all. Like I said, you kind of have to play these good plays in some form or fashion, these good players on the shorter slates. It wouldn't be a spot I would be looking to fade or anything like that. I wonder where Hall's ownership does come in, though. Right now, I think I'm probably around the field. Like, I think he probably comes in the 25 to 30% range. And I'll probably be right there. He would be the guy I would be looking to one off. Pretty expensive for, I don't think, that great of a spot. Couturier, when he was with Konechny last year, was very good. Defensively, especially when they were on home ice, kind of a line I would be looking to avoid. Here, I don't know exactly how it's going to play out with Lindblom on this line. Lindblom had 4 high danger chances in that one game. I don't know. Maybe he's trying to take the next step. I'm not exactly sure what went on there, but it was against the Chicago Blackhawks, who are going to stink defensively. Other things in this game, just other notes. We've got a little bit of line switching going on with the Devils. Gusev up with Hischier and Hall, probably going to stick, I would think, for this game. Devils aren't really a team that over the last couple of years has been messing around all that much with their lines in game, unless there's an injury. So they're a team I'm comfortable playing the lines how they are. Zajac and Palmieri on the second line with Jesper Bratt. I don't like Bratt all that much. I get it. He's cheap. He's listed on a power play. But Palmieri and, Zajac centering, not a big goal scorer, to say the least. I would be looking mostly to play some Kyle Palmieri one-offs. But honestly, man, I'm not getting to... I think I'm going to have stacks of probably each of the top 2 lines in each team. I'm planning on playing 100 lineups tonight. So, I'm going to have full stacks of basically every first and second line for each team. But the Devils' top line, or the Devils' second line, is not one that is really coming up for me much at all. And that's probably because Zajac and Bratt are dragging it down a little bit. I need Trost to stop playing Varlamov so I don't lose money anymore. Who was with me? Yeah, Bobrovsky needs to not play too, apparently. And last night was one of those nights I'm very glad I don't just single enter anymore, because I probably would have landed on Bobrovsky with the Florida 1 stack, and Barkov missing or whiffing on an empty net first few minutes of the game, plus Bobrovsky just getting wrecked. That would have been that would have been a close the laptop at 7:30 Eastern type of night. New Jersey 3? Yeah, that's actually not a bad line. I don't know what to expect from Wayne Simmons. Coleman he's always I don't know, maybe it's not sharp, but he's always a little bit of a decent one-off on these shorter slates, because he does have the multi-goal upside, but he doesn't get power play time. So his projection is kind of always okay for his price, but it never reaches that level where he's a top value play because he doesn't get power play time. But you can just see the Coleman shorthanded goal to swing everything here. And playing with Hughes and Simmons, like I said, no clue what to expect from Wayne Simmons this year. Last year was a complete lost year. Maybe he goes James Neal on the deal tonight. I have no clue. You're not even getting a good price on Simmons. Wayne Simmons revenge. That's right. He was with the Flyers before he got traded to Nashville. I believe it was Nashville late in the season last year. So it's not the worst full stack. Again, if I'm going to a third line as a full stack, it would probably be Kotkaniemi, Drouin, and who's the third guy? I keep forgetting. Armia. That would be my preferred option, but I think they're for third line. As far as third lines go, pretty good, unless you just want to do the Coleman one-off, which is not it's not a bad play tonight. Yeah, why was I targeting against Carolina? Yeah, bad nightmare. It was a bad nightmare for like 95% of the field. Like, Carolina's good. I don't know. I felt kind of fishy targeting against Carolina last night, now that I look back on it. On a big slate like that, I get the pricing was great for Florida, and it's not like you were playing bad players, Barkov, Huberdeau, Dadonov. But, man, why was I so wild about targeting Carolina? It's like that's a good team and a really good Corsi team, and I felt like I should have been on the goalie more. Yeah, that was a regret, I think, having Florida as like a top 3 line last night. Yeah, they were cheap, but I think value is a little bit overrated in NHL DFS, similar to MLB. Like, you hear a lot of the top players, Osmo says it all the time. Value is overrated in these event-based sports because the outlier performances, you're looking for an outlier performance, whereas it's something way more projectable like NBA. If you had that kind of value, it'd be really difficult to pass up unless the ownership was just outrageous. In NHL, ownership is, and maybe we'll have it soon, but ownership is not. It never gets to a point where like you have to start thinking about full fading a guy or anything like that. At least that's what I don't think. Other guys in this game. Well, first of all, like full line stacks, prefer the top line here for Philadelphia. I think they're probably going to be the most popular line on the slate. Maybe Vancouver 1. No, Vancouver 1's going to be because of that value again. I'm not even sure I disagree with that. But Flyers 1, a top 3 line for me right now. They're not super interesting to talk about. It's a really good line, PP1, all across the board. Probably going to avoid the best player on the Devils. Get to go up against 2 and 3 for the Devils. I mean, I don't know. They're a really awesome play. Notice Voracek is not projecting super well in Alex's model. I'm not really sure why that is, but I think Voracek is perfectly fine. I wouldn't be getting off of it or anything. Full stack, 2-man stack. Hayes is not a plug by any means. The correlation's so good even on a 3-game slate. I think they're a really awesome play and one that's going to be chalky, but one that I think you might need to have. The second line is also fully correlated, but it's on the second unit. This is the clear top power play unit that they want to use. Van Riemsdyk, it's loaded for Philadelphia 1, so I wouldn't pay too much attention to trying to get points from the second power play here, to be honest. Gostisbehere is third pairing, kind of the Yandel situation yesterday, but he's more expensive. He does have a little bit more upside, I think, than Yandel on his own, but Yandel kind of made me eat my words yesterday. I think he ended up with 20 plus DK points, so weird stuff. Third pairing power play 1 defenseman is always it's always a tricky situation, especially when Gostisbehere is going to be popular at 4,500. Yeah, it hasn't even been a week with the stacking, less stacking kind of thing. Like, I don't know. I'm just ready to give it some time, It's a variance-based sport, so I'm not ready to change my strategy at all. Getting a ton of Montreal 1 and crunches, yeah, they're a good play. I mean, any top line tonight is probably a pretty decent play. I think they all look solid, maybe besides not looking too good for Vancouver 1. Vancouver 1. It is looking very good for Vancouver 1, for LA 1 against Vancouver. All right. Defenseman here, Subban is underpriced at $5K. If you use numbers from last year, like if you have your own projection system, maybe he's a guy you might want to give a bump to. The numbers weren't fantastic last year, but playing top power play and, he's gotten, I think, 25 plus minutes his last two or 2 out of the 3 games for the Devils or something like that. Anyways, I expect Subban to play 22, 25 minutes, somewhere around there per game. And this is just too cheap of a price playing in the PP with Hall and Palmieri and top pairing, all of that. So Will Butcher, this is like the optimizer play. He's annoying too because he's going to project well. I don't think he's very good. And I'm looking at my exposures right now, and I have 15%. So it's like, all right, well, I usually try to recrunch and, take that guy out of the pool. Okay, what does that do when I take Will Butcher out of the pool? Because last year he was playable when he was 3,500 because he was on the power play 1 and just a cheap guy like the Yandel situation last night. But here he's power play 2 playing on third pairing. I mean, can you really project more than 16, 17 minutes here? I don't know. So he's a tricky guy in optimizers tonight. I don't know. I want to get less of freaking Will Butcher not playing on the top power play than 15%. So we'll see. Might be like Yandel yesterday where I come on tomorrow and get yelled at for having 12% Will Butcher, but we'll see. Not a guy I'm excited to play. Provorov, top power play. Similar to Petrie, I think he does have a little bit of upside here at 4,800 and probably will skate some with, and Ristolainen for that matter. He'll probably skate some with Hayes and Giroux and Voracek at 5-on-5. We'll definitely skate with Couturier, Lindblom, and Konechny as well. Yeah. Quinn Hughes greater than Butcher. Yeah, that's probably a good call, Bots. That's actually, that's sharp. $800 difference. Like, if you're playing $2,700 Butcher, that means you're probably playing some combo of Eichel, some combo of this line and probably Vancouver or someone like that. So that's the only thing, too. It's like it's going to be a very popular lineup construction, I think, to play Will Butcher just because he's on the power play. All right, let's go to the last game of the night. Quick, Markstrom, 2.5 implied total for the Kings, 3 flat for Vancouver. All right, so Kings are on the back-to-back. Boom's Kings, very impressive win last night in Calgary. Did not see that one coming at all. So shout out to the Kings. They hung tough. I think they were on the verge of blowing it there. Got it to OT. And with backup goalie, no less. Jack Campbell started for the Kings. So hockey's a weird sport, man. So there you go. Could they get blasted by Vancouver tonight? Yes, it's very possible they could. I think they're going to lose the shot on goal battle. They're probably going to lose the possession battle, but you can still win games in the NHL in short samples like that. So a couple things. I think Quick is in for a lot of volume here probably. This isn't the old Vancouver team where you expect them to play at a snail's pace when they're playing at home. They actually have some talent here. It's not just the Sedins. Especially after that Kachuk goal. That was kind of crazy. Vancouver won incredibly underpriced. Being a shorter slate, it makes it tough to pass up on this value because if they get one goal here, you're probably, because there's less teams, less likely that a team or a line is going to go completely nuclear where you're going to have to have them, and especially 2 lines. So, Besser at 5,200, my favorite value of the night. Playing with Elias Pettersson and a decent winger and JT Miller, I think is pretty solid. He just shouldn't be 5,200 in this spot. He's probably going to avoid Kopitar as well. Kopitar, Alfalo, Brown probably going to see the most time against Horvat, Tanner Pearson, and Josh Levo if these lines stick. Vancouver likes to use Horvat as the shutdown center. This would be an absolutely perfect time to do it. because then you get Pettersson, Besser, and Miller away from Kopitar, which is exactly what you would want to do. So just logically, that's what I would expect from Vancouver. There's very little I like on the Kings. If you want to do a Kopitar one-off, I mean, fine. Toffoli, he's a guy I've wanted to really play a lot of at points over the last few years, and he just can't when he's playing on the third line. And I mean, you can, but he's 4,300 here. I don't know. I like other one-offs. JT Miller's $500 cheaper, and I think in a way better spot playing with better players. So, going up against Kopitar, he gets a lot of minutes. Horvat's going to get a lot of minutes. He is one of the better values on the slate. So I think I'm going to try to do this with a few lineups out of my 100 or 150, whatever I end up with. But I think if you play Horvat with some combo of these three guys, and maybe you four-man stack it or power play stack Vancouver, I think that's a really fun option, and really valuable and a way to differentiate. I'm not saying you play Horvat instead of Pettersson. You could do that, but Horvat can score goals. He can definitely get blocks and put up shot volume, and he's just too cheap. You should be playing the Kings. I mean, they were solid last night. Maybe, like, if you want to play Kopitar, they're fully correlated too. They're probably going to go low owned. I get it. It's not like I'm not going to have any Kings tonight. I've got 12% Kopitar right now, and yeah, that's really about it. Like, okay, you play some LA stacks. It's just hard to know where their scoring is going to come from outside of the top line. Toffoli, 10 minutes, no thanks. Yeah, that's the problem too. The minutes are almost never there. It doesn't make any sense. When you mentioned 3-3-1, does one of the threes include goalie or no? No, I would call that 3-3 with correlated goalie, or 4-3-1 with correlated goalie, or 5-3 if the goalie's included. Yeah, they have been better than I expected. That's for sure. The Kings, especially last night. So we'll see. Doughty with the game winner last night. Maybe he's gonna have a bust out season or something like that. 5,400, not a bad price. I mean, when you talk about, especially if we expect Doughty to be active, I don't know that I'm quite there yet. But if he's going to be more active offensively this season, if LA is going to do a better job of carrying play this season, then there's your pivot to Edler, because I think Edler is the best option of the night by a pretty good margin. Block shot beast. He'll get shots on goal. I mean, he does everything you want from a defenseman for DFS here. He correlates incredibly well to Miller, Pettersson, Besser. I mean, he's really tough to avoid tonight, especially if you're including D in your utility and not doing 3-3 stacks. Even if you are doing 3-3 stacks, I think Edler's really tough to avoid. Are the articles out yet? Yeah. Let me post. Well, there's only one article. So for this season, what we're going to do is for slates that are shorter than 4 games, so 3, 2, or 1, you will get a cheat sheets article and then premium Slack. For slates larger than that, we'll have the power plays. We'll have line changes most of the time if it's relevant. Cheat sheets are going to be free. Those are done by myself. So my own touch, as well as Osmo's projections. And those have like cash plays, or plays more geared toward cash, plus GPP plays. So those are free. Feel free to check those out. I just posted the link in chat. What else do we got going on? What else? PGA Live Before Lock is tonight. Let's see. That is at 9 Eastern. There is NFL tomorrow. So we will have the strategy show tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern. It will be Alex and Ben. I believe they're going to run back the show during the day tomorrow. That seemed to be pretty successful. Give it a little bit more shelf life. Those two guys, two of the sharper minds that we have here. But yeah, check out the cheat sheets. You'll get power plays tomorrow. Let's see, Thursday. So will it be Vots? I can't remember. I think that's Vots' day. 1% Hattie. There's not going to be a 1% Hattie tonight. All right, my hat trick pick tonight is Brock Besser. 1% Hattie, like a guy who could get you a hat trick at 1%. I mean, Miles Wood he's got offensive upside, but I don't want to say that because he's on the fourth line, so I don't think he's gonna have enough time to net a hat trick. Here we go. He's not gonna be 1%, but maybe sub 5 if we're lucky. I'll take Armia as my low-owned hat trick. Besser as my high-owned hat trick. And there you go. Look out for Montreal 3, folks. Let's see. What else do we got? You guys want me to talk over anything else? Hughes, Vots mentioned him as a punt. Yeah, I'm going to bump him up manually, I think. I do like $3,500 Quinn Hughes playing top 4 minutes. Paul Byron. I don't usually look at fourth liners, but that's a name I'm familiar with. There you go. Paul Byron. Oscar. I thought you were saying Sundqvist. I was going to say. Now you're talking, but Blues aren't on the slate. We need the nuts. Dude, if I had the nuts, I'd be winning every night, right? But I feel like I'm close. Last night, I felt good about my exposures. Besides Florida 1, looking back on it, I felt pretty solid with how everything went. Butcher Hattie, my God. I don't think I could show up tomorrow if Will Butcher gets a Hattie. I mean, he's for sure going to score a goal now. I won't be left out of it entirely, but I'd like to get under 10% on Butcher if I can. We'll see if I can make it work. Yeah, Armia did have a hat trick last year. I think I didn't bank or anything, but I think I had a pretty decent night that night. All right, games tomorrow. There are... What we got tomorrow? The 10th? 1, 2, 3, 4... 11 games. Wow. There we go. And, we've got 11 more days, 12 more days or something until NBA starts, which I'm just finding out now. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool stuff. So hopefully we get some big tournaments. Maybe we keep a few Sharks. Maybe they can donate some NBA money over to us in the next couple weeks, and we see some big tournaments and we see them fill across the sites. Of course, you guys are going to want to check out Yahoo. They are our presenting sponsor of the strategy show. They sponsor all the strategy shows. So Yahoo's running back the 300K baller, 150 max. You're going to want to check that out if you are an NFL player. They've also got other good contests as well for NFL. They've got NHL stuff too. $12, $300 the first. Some softer competition over here. Some flatter payouts. Some good stuff over on Yahoo. Are you higher on Markstrom or Hart, regardless of price? Well, for that, any 1v1, I would just go to the projections and whatever that says. Was it Markstrom or Hart? Those guys are really close, right next to each other in projection on DK. Give me Markstrom. That's really close. I mean, trying to pick a goalie is one of the worst things in DFS, I think. Trying to hand build and pick your goalie, that's going to get you the 45 save shutout. Probably the least fun thing to do. What's going on Twitter? Alex is playing League of Legends? What? No way. That tweet must be a troll. Favorite stacks? I can go through. My favorite lines are Vancouver 1 right now. Philadelphia 1. And then probably as a full stack, New Jersey won up there. Buffalo, I love them on a raw points basis. It's hard to full stack them and still get quality players after that. There's not a ton of cheap lines I'm in love with. Talked about Onslaught are viable tonight, like I mentioned with Horvat, and some combination of this top line. That's another way to get different 5-6 man stacking. I think that's viable in essentially every game, probably on both sides even. Devils, yeah, you could do it with the Devils. So, yeah, man, it's I think it's going to be a good slate. I feel pretty good right now going into it. We've got just under 2 hours until we got a lock. Go get in some contests. Go get in premium Slack. Use the promo code NHL Early Bird. Once again, that expires tomorrow, and that'll get you $40 off your yearly package of NHL Awesemo Plus. So take advantage. This is kind of your last day to do so. DM me if you got any questions. DMs are open on Twitter if you want to troll me or whatever, or ask me questions, or ask me whatever. Or premium Slack, probably the best way to reach me. All right, guys. Thanks for joining, and I'll be back tomorrow with Nolan. Good luck.